The load would be much exciting for you. But now I will be taking over and telling you about the deployment part. So who can tell me what is the deployment here? Anybody? Deployment? अरे यार deployment तो बताओ. ML वाले लोग बैठो. Well, in a very short term, ML deployment is a very different process. Model deployment is a very different process compared to other parts. For example, in the EDA, you have all the mathematics and statistics. Then you come to the model part, training, testing, and all other things. So, for deployment, you need either the knowledge of DevOps or the knowledge of software development. So, here we developed our model and then deployed it here. So, instead of showing you and telling you directly, how about I show you. So then this is our dashboard we deployed, and in this dashboard you can read about our project, our solution, the data and different things. Then here comes the data collection. Let's just wait. Yeah. So all the codes that we use are here. How to get salinity, what is the code for chlorophyll, how we obtain the turbidity data from the satellite, and so on. So you can read here and get a glimpse of what is this project about. After that, you have how to move forward in this deploy dashboard. So you have a video here. Moving towards the interactive data analysis. You can see the AOI, area of interest of each lake. This is Hatshela Dam. Then from here you can see the Sarangpani Dam, Sarangpani Lake of Bhopal. Well, I will show you the upper lake. This is the upper lake, and we obtain a certain amount of parameters here. But how those parameters are correlated? What is told by those parameters is a different story. But the data set that we obtain, each numerical representation, what does it tell you, could be understood by here. So I will go with the scatter plot. If you are inclined towards lag plot, histogram and box plot, then you can use it. Now on the x-axis, I will put salinity, and then on the y-axis, you have pH. So, I guess that is always there. Well, let's just move forward. You can see the graph there. So, the plotting of dissolved oxygen with related to pH, then the plotting of salinity and pH. What is told by all those data sets, all those data frames can be seen through these plotting. So we obtain around 8 parameters here: pH, salinity, turbidity, dissolved oxygen, dissolved organic matter, suspended matter. So how these parameters that we obtain from the satellite is validating our data set is an important thing. So for the pH part, what does a good pH for a drinking water is? Very simple question. बताओ drinking water का pH 7. Good range for drinking water. That's a good range for a neutral water. But we don't drink neutral water. Either it will be a little bit of acidic or towards the basic. So good water range is around 6.5 to 8.5 given by WHO. we have to get all these research for each parameter. So now the second parameter, okay.
Hello.
Everyone is requested to pay attention towards the speaker and maintain the decorum of the event, please.
Now in the second phase we have salinity. So a water should have a certain amount of salinity here. A fresh water should have a salinity of around 0.5 to 0 to 0.5. Then comes the brackish water, where you don't drink it, but it has the salinity of around 30 particles per thousand, and then we have saline water, which is around 80 particles per thousand, and then comes the ocean water. So any IAS aspirant who can tell me about what is Black Sea? Anybody? Black Sea? Black in color. Black Sea. So Black Sea is around Ukraine region.
Okay.
Can't tell you about Black Sea? क्या है? Red Sea. Black Sea and Red Sea are different. So Black Sea has a salinity of around 18 particles per thousand. The salinity of our water was in between 0 to 0.5, which means you can go and have a cup of upper lake. Then the third parameter comes in, which is about turbidity. The turbidity is about how much cloudy your water is. If you can remember the chemistry class in 7th grade, the lemonade was a turbid solution. So, if the turbidity of our lake is very high, then it is very polluted, or if the turbidity is low, then the water is drinkable. This is what we can get from turbidity. Now after researching all these things, we are coming to a conclusion how all these parameters are associated with each other. Then comes the temperature part. It is quite independent of all the parameters because it is not judged or it is not affected by the soil and the surrounding around it. Temperature is affected by the climate. If the sun is high, the temperature will be high. If the cloud is there, the temperature will be low. In a winter, the temperature will be quite low. So, what is the minimum and maximum temperature of Bhopal? Any guesses? Minimum temperature?
8.
8 degrees. And maximum would be around
35.
35. It's around 50. It goes around 48 degrees Celsius. So, let's just say in Bhopal region we have temperature of from 7 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. How it is validated in our data set? We know that in Bhopal this is the temperature, but the similar thing is being observed by our data set or not is another thing. We will move forward in a bit minute. Then we have chlorophyll. Associating chlorophyll with suspended matter or dissolved oxygen. Let's associate chlorophyll with dissolved oxygen. So from 7th, 8th biology class, we know plants thrive on oxygen. Am I right? Yes. So, on a certain perspective, a person can think if the lake has a lot of chlorophyll, then it should have a lot of dissolved oxygen. But since we know that plants thrive on dissolved oxygen, then when the chlorophyll content of a water in our lake rises, it means that dissolved oxygen is being absorbed by those plants. So we have a negative correlation with dissolved oxygen and chlorophyll. Then we have suspended matter and dissolved organic matter. What is organic matter? Which can be consumed and which can be decomposed very early. So, if the dissolved oxygen is very less in our lake, then the fishes will not be able to thrive, as they won't be able to pass oxygen through their gills, so they will be dead. Those dead fishes will have a lot of dissolved organic matter, will make the lake possess a lot of dissolved organic matter, which will make our suspended matter more. Well, suspended matter also include the plastic that we throw and all the pollution we do around the lake. So this was all about the parameters. Now, what is good and what is bad parameter for our lake? After all the brainstorming that we did in our project, we got to this part where we can ascertain these particular values, that good, that need treatment, and the poor part is very important. So if we have, I was not able to show you the graph, but the salinity was below 1. The pH is in between 7 to 8.4, 8.3. Why it is going towards 8.2 and 8.3 is a different process. Because we have to think, if we put a tablespoon of salt in 100 ml, it would be there. Either it would be constant. So, if the water drops, let's say it is evaporated and we have only 50 ml of water, then the salinity that it possesses is still there, but particles per 100 or particles per 1000 has been increased or decreased. We have to think on that perspective. Then the turbidity is in negative. It is from our data set that if the negative turbidity is there, it means the cloudiness in the water is being increased. So you can't drink turbid water apart from lemonade. Then we have land surface temperature. What is good land surface temperature? We obtained around 15 to 35 degrees Celsius is a good temperature for a lake to be. But if it increased or decreased, it's all about the climate. Then we have chlorophyll, it between minus 0.1 to 0.1, and then suspended matter, dissolved oxygen, and other things that you can observe here. Now I will come to my dashboard, and you will be able to observe a lot of it. So this is the data feed. The chlorophyll content is going from 0.04 to around 0.1, 0.111, and so on. So there is certain range in there. Then turbidity is all about negative. Salinity is negative. Negative salinity shouldn't be there. It means it's an outlier. Then dissolved oxygen, pH, temperature, all the parameters you can see here. Moving towards the research question, we should have a finding after researching and connecting all these parameters with a thread. We have a certain understanding that हाँ ये पैरामीटर बहुत बढ़िया है, ये पैरामीटर उतना बढ़िया नहीं है, तो इसके हिसाब से हमें उन्हें जोड़ना चाहिए और उन्हें एसोसिएट करके एक ग्राफ बनाना चाहिए. तो अब हमने उसे कैसे किया है? हाउ डिड वी डू? So this is the research question. Like, what is before and after pandemic difference in the temperature of lake, and pre-COVID, past-COVID analysis of the lake. Then the third was, what is the difference of weather? If Q1 में ठंडी ज़्यादा है, तो फिर मौसम भी बहुत ठंडा है, ठंडी ठंडी सी चीज़ें. Then we have summer, then rainy, and then winter. How these things are affecting our lake is an important. So in the Q1 we can observe this trend line, which is saying कि जैसे जैसे ठंडी से गर्मी आ रही है, the temperature is also rising. And then we have this Q2, which is summer. So the temperature of all the quarters are varying by a lot. पूरा टेम्परेचर ही ऊपर चला गया है, पूरा प्लॉट ही ऊपर चला गया है. एंड देन ट्रेंड लाइन इज डिक्रीजिंग एज सून एज रेनी इज कमिंग. Then we have in the quarter 4 around normal से टेम्परेचर, बिकॉज ठंडी अभी आ रही है और ऑटम वाला सीजन चल रहा है, तो उसके हिसाब से हमारा क्वार्टर 4 दिख रहा है. बट रेनी सीजन, why the plot is being so much varied? It is important thing. So any conclusion from here why quarter 3 is so much variation? कोई बता सकता है क्वार्टर 3 का वेरिएशन क्यों है इतना ज़्यादा? रेनी सीजन. बट प्लॉट्स देख रहे हो, वो जो ब्लू लाइन्स हैं वो डेटा पॉइंट्स हैं, एंड डेटा पॉइंट्स आर वेरी लेस देयर. इट मीन्स हमने सैटेलाइट से डेटा लिया, तो सैटेलाइट से जब हम डेटा ले रहे हैं देन वी हैव लॉट ऑफ क्लाउड्स देयर बिकॉज रेन इज देयर. सो सैटेलाइट विल नॉट बी एबल टू ऑब्जर्व दिस कि हाँ भाई क्लाउड आ गए, तुम्हारे आंखों के सामने पर्दा लग गया, पर्दे के पीछे क्या है वो क्या पता. तो इसीलिए हमारे पास डेटा पॉइंट्स ही नहीं है क्वार्टर 3 के. सो व्हाट वी ऑब्जर्व कि हाँ इस एनालिसिस के थ्रू हमें ये चीज़ पता लगी कि क्वार्टर 3 का डेटा है ही नहीं हमारे पास, रेनी सीजन का डेटा ही नहीं है. तो वहाँ पे ऑब्जर्वेशन क्या होगी, किस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, इट इज़ अ वेरी बिग क्वेश्चन. अ वैलिडेशन इज देयर. देन दिस इज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ डेटा अराउंड द ईयर. We have a data around average data 2019 is quite big, but all the other quarter of each year is differentiating, quite similar. So we can form a binomial distribution of all these points. Then moving towards research question 2, we have pre-monsoon and post-monsoon analysis. So in pre-monsoon, post-monsoon analysis, you can observe that pH is going from 7.4 अराउंड 8.2. अब पानी में जब समर का सीजन आया तो पीएच की वैल्यू इंक्रीज क्यों हुई है? इट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. वेयर एज इन द पोस्ट मॉनसून एनालिसिस, the pH is going from 7.4 to 7.9 only, whereas we have 8.2 in summer. What is the reason here? We thought about it, and the simple answer to it was कि जब गर्मी आती है तो पानी सूख रहा है, तो जो मैंने पॉइंट बोला था, 100 ml में जितना टेबल स्पून डालोगे वो उतना ही है, बट पार्टिकल्स पर 100 एंड पार्टिकल्स पर 1000 हैज़ बीन डिक्रीज. इसीलिए सैलिनिटी का डिफरेंशिएशन यहाँ पे है 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, और pH कहाँ तक जा रहा है? 8.2. इट इज़ वैलिडेटिंग कि हाँ pH इंक्रीज हो रही है, एंड दैट्स वाई सैलिनिटी इज ऑल्सो बीइंग इंक्रीज. Whereas on the second post monsoon analysis, बारिश हो गई भाई, बारिश हो गई, तो उसकी वजह से हमारा पानी जो लेक का है वो बढ़ गया है. And because of this, from 7.4 to 7.9, the pH has been from 8.2, it is going maximum of 7.9. And salinity is maximum going to 0.20. I think you are not able to see the numerical representation, but it is 0.20, which means salinity has been decreased. Now, moving towards the third research question. It is about chlorophyll, turbidity and dissolved oxygen. As you can see in the quarter 1, so what does this graph tells you? That dissolved oxygen, turbidity and chlorophyll. In the quarter 1, the similarity is there. Chlorophyll अगर ज़्यादा होगा तो water के अंदर में cloudiness आएगी. इसीलिए when we have less chlorophyll here, the turbidity is also similar to it. It's a mirror image over y-axis, x-axis. So this is also being validated here. Then in the quarter 2 part, we have the similar that this variation, it could be the outlier. So let's not think about the dissolved oxygen why it is going from -50 to 0. But if we observe from turbidity and chlorophyll, then we are observing that there is a similar representation. As soon as quarter 2 is there, the summer is there, the plants are dying, and it is being cleared out. So in quarter 3 we don't have data, that's why there is no numerical representation. And in quarter 4, Pani is full in the lake, and that's why it is going towards the positive axis, and the similar representation throughout the x-axis is there. Then what did we observe in pre-COVID and post-COVID analysis? Water has become much cleaner as presence of dissolved oxygen has been increased over the years. Pre-COVID लोग जा रहे हैं, पार्टी वार्टी कर रहे हैं, डेट पे गए हैं, पिकनिक चल रही है फैमिली के साथ में, तो वहाँ पे रैपर्स वगैरह फेंक दिया, तो पानी की जो क्लैरिटी है डिक्रीज हो गई. बट पोस्ट कोविड घर में बंद है, बातें नहीं कर पा रहे हैं अपने दोस्तों से, अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड से, तो फिर क्या होगा, वहाँ पे तो फिर पोस्ट कोविड एनालिसिस में हमें ये पता चला कि पानी प्री कोविड से काफ़ी ज़्यादा क्लियर है. एंड सेम चीज़ प्री मॉनसून पोस्ट मॉनसून जो हमारे डेटा सेट को वैलिडेट कर रही है. And at the end, we got the conclusion that post-monsoon, pre-monsoon में हमारे पास सारे inferences and conclusions आ गए कि हमारा data set हमें क्या कह रहा है. Similarly, over the post and pre-COVID analysis, our data set is also being validated, and the change over the span of 4-5 years, which is exactly somewhat on the first and second year. Hence, we got to a conclusion. Now, so from here you can go to the public dashboard, and then we have the Tableau web app. You can also go to all these things through my LinkedIn ID, and then the conclusion is being done. All the thanks to these collaborators, and out of them we have Pushpendra and Kshitij here. Pushpendra and Kshitij, please stand up. Please have a big round of applause for these guys. They contributed a lot in our project. They were included. Then I guess it was too much nerdy stuff for a lot of people.